basketball last year. He's still younger than some of the freshmen for Alabama. Lewis again. Lewis is on fire again. Back to the
What's up everybody, Durag back with another video, and today we're going to talk about Kira Lewis Jr. Born April 6, 2001, Kira is still just 19. Even with this technically being the time when his junior year season should begin. He's young, but he's seasoned, and it seems like the Suns are very interested in this young man. Out of all major players available in the Suns draft range, he's the only one so far with 2 Zoom meetings that we officially know about. And because of this, I wanted to do a little bit more of an in-depth breakdown. Let's really see what Kira's all about. And let's jump into his game and see what we can learn. He might be one of the fastest players with the ball in his hands coming out of this year's draft. One of my favorite skills for a point guard is to have rim pressure. You might not be the most potent scorer at the rim, but getting into the teeth of the D and being a threat is so vital, and Kira exemplifies this trait. He's not the best finisher. He doesn't always try to draw contact or finish through people, but he routinely gets into the middle of the floor and has this skill set to be a threat to score or pass. Transition and semi-transition are where we really see this speed put to use. He's constantly beating defenders to the spot and creating angles with just pure speed and acceleration. He's the embodiment of the Energizer Bunny for me. It didn't matter that he was close to 38 minutes per game. He just kept going and going and going. He's a good enough shooter that he forces hard closeouts. And couple that with his acceleration and speed, along with a nice Euro step and some up and under finishes, and he's got a decent layup package. You know, he's no Grant Riller in terms of volume and efficiency, but he gets to the rim and is much more of a threat than Halliburton and Bane, who we've also covered on this channel. Personally, I wish he was stronger, and maybe that comes with being only 18 in most of these clips. The lack of strength shows just so much more on film when he gets fatigued as well. So late game was a bit of a struggle for him, I'd say, most of the time. What we see here is the higher end outcome. A great slasher on and off ball. He attacks closeouts extremely well, but he does have primary initiator upside thanks to his handle and athleticism. He's not as violent attacking the rim as Ja Morant, but the same ability to shift gears and get downhill is there. And taking it to more of a Phoenix player-based comp, Leandro Barbosa is who he reminds me of. Kira has the floater touch needed to punish drop coverage at the next level. And off ball, he's a total nightmare. He attacks closeouts hard and turns the corner very well. His shooting ability forces bigs to step out and hedge, and that's barbecue chicken on a familiar set play that we've seen the Suns run. Let's move on to his shooting. This clip shows a willingness to not only be a shooter, but also good shot preparation with his feet on the catch as he hops into the shot. And from my personal viewing, I swear he rarely missed on the hop. I like his base, I like his follow through and touch. I will say that most of the offensive film is from his last 5 games of the season, as it was our most recent exposure and I wanted to get a decent sample. But as you can see, he's not just a one-trick pony. He's got the ability to put the ball on the floor, and with a tight handle and repeatable mechanics, he transitions very well into pull-up attempts. Added core strength should allow for him to reliably shoot from anywhere at the next level, and I 100% believe in that. The transition into dribbling and pull-ups is borderline elite for his age. He's silky smooth on most of these, and oftentimes has the necessary space creation for me to buy this as a legit skill that can only get better with NBA training and repetition. The pull-up transition and high catch and shoot numbers make me a believer overall in his shot at the next level, and at the very least, he won't be as limited of an option offensively as our own Ricky Rubio and other potential guards. Kyra does a great job of being a threat off ball as well. We see his team routinely set off ball screens to free him up, and he does a nice job of getting in the view of the passer and making himself available. This is also known as off ball relocation. Another good thing is he's very decisive in most scoring actions, and it's great to see him being used as an off ball scoring weapon. I think this is his easiest path to early NBA success. Not having the pressure of running an offense, but having the potential to eventually get there, but not having the pressure of running an NBA offense and eventually, transitioning into that role. And to close out the scouting on his shooting, we got 2 big shots here down the stretch against Texas A&M. Hashtag the kid is good. Now next up, let's talk about his passing. He's not as creative and proactive as Halliburton. He's not faking passes to create new angles or anything like that, but he's a very good reactionary drive and kick player. Moving at his speed has probably helped his internal processing, and he's able to basically see stuff at the same time and react almost instantaneously. You see this with his Euro step footwork and live dribble laser beams. He's confident in his dribble, and probably the second most advanced dribbler that we've covered behind Grant Riller. And being only 19 compared to 22, 20, and 23, he's in a very great spot. He's also got a good sense of where his shooters are and should be, setting up a lot of left corner three-point attempts thanks to his rim pressure and his right-hand dominance. He can fire off passes with both hands, and he doesn't really waste movements as he utilizes the live dribble. This is not in everyone's bag, but he's phenomenal at it. It's probably his best passing skill at the moment. The speed and placement of these passes, it's often spot on and sets up easy finishes for his teammates, be it in catch and shoot situations or rim attempt situations. He also likes to hit his cutters, rewarding his teammates for making plays off ball. And since his bigs mainly sat in the dunker spot, he's got a very nice drop-off pass arsenal as well. And again, he's not making overly complex reads. He's just doing his job. As a point guard, he's supposed to get into the middle of the floor and collapse the help defender. Maybe that means kicking it out for a 3. Maybe the help defender is a big man, so the lob is open, or the drop-off. Either way, he's not a selfish player in the slightest, and you can really see this in the way he passes the ball. As soon as he sees the opening, he's live dribble rocketing the ball into the window, and it's up to the offensive player to make a play once they receive the pass. I really like the way he finds his cutters. I think that's probably his most underrated skill, and something that would translate very well with this Suns team in particular. Guys like Kelly Oubre, Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker even on the cut, it would just be a really good fit for Kyra Lewis. Last but not least, we have to scout his defense. I wouldn't say he's a great defender, and I wouldn't say that he's a bad defender. He's very quick and generally knows where to be, but I do have a few issues overall. He's not always in the right spot, and because of this, he's oftentimes caught between a soft closeout or a very hard closeout. When he's in position and under control, He does do a very good job at affecting shots with his contests. However, as we see here frequently, he's digging too far down, helping out one pass away, and generally just making average defensive plays. He's got great closing speed, probably a reason as to why he does sag off so often. And that closing speed has allowed him to block his fair share of shot attempts. I wouldn't count on this translating entirely to the NBA. He's got a motor that runs high. Even when he's out of position, he does hustle to try to make the right play. I'd say his screen navigation needs some work, and he's going to have to get stronger to not be a liability, but he's got all of the tools to be successful in the NBA, and surrounded by better teammates like Oubre, Rubio, and McHale, should go a long way into masking some of his deficiencies while capitalizing on his strengths. Okay, and last but not least, I wanted to just get a little bit of Kyra lowlights. Oftentimes we see a lot of highlight videos and we see a player play and we're like, man, he should not be doing this. But routinely when you go back and watch the full game or the full film, you see 3 to 4 instances that would have probably had the same result that you're watching, kind of having a WTF moment. So I just wanted to throw these in here, show you that he's human, show you that he does have flaws and mistakes. But again, everything that we've talked about here is still true. He's a great player. He's very, very young. He's got a bright future. And I totally think he'd be a great fit on this Suns team. So till next time, everybody, Durag out.